Hi, I'm Cassie,
And I'm Nick.
and we are studying abroad in Hong Kong at Hong Kong University.
In this video, we're going to talk about various things. First, we're going to talk about visas. We did not receive our visa before we came to Hong Kong, so we had to pick it up in Hong Kong. And just know that this is kind of an experience. It takes a little while to get it activated. Next, culture shock. It's taken us about 3 to 4 weeks to really get used to the culture. It's a very hard adjustment, but I do feel that we are making progress.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit longer than we expected. We're getting used to the food here as well.
Yeah, the food, there are a lot of different options here in Hong Kong. However, American and vegetarian options are much more expensive, you'll come to find. And you can find cheap food on campus, and you'll find various places that you'll have 2 dishes that are just great. And
Yeah,
you'll keep
it's
buying.
mostly Asian food though on campus. It's very hard to find other options, and they're mostly pretty expensive. But on campus, it's cheap Asian food.
It is.
The weather here, I would say it's comparable to Florida. It's very hot and humid, and there's a lot of rain, very tropical. So if you like Florida, you will like it here, but keep in mind that it is very hot here. There are also a lot of mosquitoes and bugs and lizards, so that's why it's a little bit like Florida. So keep that in mind.
Another thing that runs along with the weather in Hong Kong is the pollution and the smog. You'll come to find that in Hong Kong there is quite a bit of smog and pollution. We've been getting regular updates via Google talking about weather quality, so that's one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, so if you have asthma or allergies or respiratory issues, you might not want to come here because of the pollution. Another thing that we found is that students on campus, they do speak English very well, but in social situations, they tend to speak Cantonese. And people off of campus do not speak English, so don't expect to come here and have a lot of people speak English. They all speak Cantonese. So if you're going to a restaurant or a store, these people will not speak English.
Next, talking about transportation. Hong Kong, especially Hong Kong Island, is a giant mountain. So prepare to walk uphill both ways to school because it is quite a hike. You are going to be walking everywhere, and because of the hills, you're exerting yourself a lot, so it's important to drink a lot of water. We've both noticed that we've been drinking a lot more water since we've been here. Another thing with transportation involves the MTR. The MTR is a really great way of traveling around Hong Kong Island and mainland Hong Kong and Kowloon. It's not too expensive, but with this, we heard mention of student cards that give you discounted prices on the MTR and public transportation, but we're not able to apply for that because they're not issued until November, and we're only here for a semester, so it's kind of pointless to apply for those cards.
Yeah, so don't expect to get a discount on those. The living here, though, is pretty inexpensive, especially in the dormitories. It is cheap, but that is for good reason. Don't expect to pay very little for the dorm and have a very nice place to stay, because that is not really the case. The dorms are a little bit bigger than Hewitt and Manchester, and there's a little bit more storage and furniture, but we found that it's not nearly as clean or as nice. There's also some issues with bugs in the dorms, so just keep that in mind, that the standard of living in the dormitories are not going to be nearly as nice as ISU. As well as the off-campus living, it's not as nice either.
Along with the dorm, one thing to keep in consideration is Wi-Fi. We were told that it was only going to be wired connection here in the dorms, but they actually provide Wi-Fi, so that's one thing.
It's been nice.
Yeah.
Some things that you will need to bring and pack on your trip.
Make sure that you bring twin sheets for your beds. Definitely bring twin.
Bring your own.
Bring your own. And towels. It's important to bring at least one towel, so you have that when you're here. Bring a lock, because in our rooms there are pads that you can padlock, so you can hide your valuables in there. And then sunscreen and bug spray are very expensive here in Hong Kong. Really expensive. It's important to bring at least 50 SPF, and deep bug spray because the bugs here are vicious.
And they have had cases of Zika virus, so it's very important.
Yeah,
Sunscreen.
it is. So I think that about wraps it up.
Yes, we will be hearing from you again in a month, and we'll update you on how our trip is going, but that's about all for now. So, bye.
Thank you. Bye.